CAIL enables organizations to significantly grow with mobile by creating apps fast. This is all about enabling the organization to increase relevance and revenue with new mobile services. If you get into like financial services, because we deal with a lot of banks, for example, and they've got usually a few apps today which they've spent a lot of time and money to create, and we come along and we can enable them to build up their enterprise app stores with many more apps that deal with many of the different market segments which they operate in. So for example, their wealthier customers might have a lot of products that they could subscribe to or do transactions with, make investments with. A lot of consumers would have other types of things they're interested in. Their investment divisions might have other considerations. A lot of different departments in these big organizations have a need for mobile services and apps to make it easy. These are the early days of mobile. So consequently, our customers have a very small percent of the revenue in mobile today, but the growth forecast is significant. And as we heard in one of the sessions earlier on, where one company had 8% of the revenue 6 years ago, and now it's approaching 50%. And we see that very typical going forward in many organizations. The big opportunity here is for the organization to be much better at business innovation. And so what we mean by that is enabling people, especially business people, to create apps fast so they can target new customers with new services, new transaction opportunities and things like that, and do it much more quickly. The whole other thing around business innovation is to make it more rewarding. And when you can deliver quick gratification and a better user experience, you've got more ways of being successful at bringing out new products and services. And when you can create apps fast, this really enables this to happen. On the other side, the nature of innovation is there's a high mortality rate. So this is a risk and cost and things like that, which most folks don't like. So when you can create apps fast, it means you can, say, develop 10 apps in a hurry, say in a couple of days, couple of weeks, and roll those out to the early adopters, say 10, 50 users, and see which ones get traction. And over the course of a few weeks or a month or so, do metrics on this, and then see which ones are getting, some traction, some attention, and being used a lot, and then push those out across the enterprise and kill the rest. And do that next month for 10 apps, and then move with 2 forward for that. The month after, do 10 more apps, find them 1 or 2 good ones, push those out, and so forth. So over the course of a year, I've brought out 10 to 15 new apps that really matter, and I've killed over 100. And that's called sustainable business innovation, and that's magic. There needs to be a real emphasis on delivering quick gratification and a great user experience. So it turns out that the business people are quite sensitive to this, because the more the customers like what they see with the app, the more it does that is relevant to what they do, the more they use the app, the more business they generate, because it's a great user experience and it does things quickly for them. And as we've seen some of our customers say, apps are an act of kindness, mainly because they make life easy. I just click on an icon and it does a bunch of stuff. Click on another icon, does a bunch of other stuff. So the more you can target your audience and understand how to deliver for them things that matter quickly and with a great experience, the more stickiness you have with them as your customers and even internal personnel for better information sharing. So this really is a win-win-win, and you get more apps and you know how to extend business services into mobile. The big thing with mobile is an opportunity to do convergence. And so what this means is many organizations have a significant investment in current IT infrastructure. They have all these different systems running all these different applications, with all these different technologies, doing all these things, but they tend to be islands of technology. And the business demands are what they call cross-platform, across the enterprise. And so you're trying to go from these islands of technology to address solutions that cross the enterprise. And not just inside the business, but with external services as well. So when you deliver new mobile services, I want data from these different environments, inside and outside, to deliver new services that matter. And that gets you back into business innovation, so you've got increased relevance with your customers and more revenue opportunities. It's more where there's a bunch of companies doing a number of different things. The big thing is having what we call a modular system architecture with your own product and strong interfacing capabilities, so you can deliver more seamless systems and smoother integration and make things happen quickly. And so that's between, like, say CAIL software in one regard with security people and manageability people and metrics folks and other things with advertising on the sort of solution side, but then the back end getting access to all these different systems with smart connectors and a quick, easy way to get the information, and then on top of that having a way to get it on the screen on the mobile device quickly as well with preset forms, drag and drop, point and click and stuff like that. So at CAIL, we say creating an app with CAIL is like creating a presentation with PowerPoint.